Hello and welcome. I'm Exterminator. Thank you for joining me. And today we are going to be starting a new Factorio Let's Play series. Now, this is going to be something different than what I've done in the past, and just kind of different in general. And before I continue, my sound is apparently really loud. I can turn that down for sure. Walking. That was really quite loud, that tree chopping. I don't know if it was for you guys, but it certainly was for me. Okay, so I had intended to explain kind of everything first and then do stuff, but it turns out I'm short on time. I had to record a ton of videos today and I just kind of ran out of time, so I'm going to talk while I do stuff, which may make it a little easier to watch the boring first part anyway, which I also was going to skip out, but I don't really have time to do that off screen. I really apologize, but just listen to my talking and yeah, ignore the rest of it. Anyway, so kind of what I wanted to do with this series, I made a post on the subreddit and the forum a little while ago asking for some input about it, and I just kind of had the idea out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, I'll explain that a little later, but pretty much the idea is going to be to consume all the resources as quickly and as best as we can, and in turn, so a result of that, meaning building on a absolutely massive, huge scale. So it kind of, okay, so some people just do this naturally, that's just how they play. For me, it's not. For me, that's not how I play normally. And it'll be kind of a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I think it will be really fun. It'll kind of force me to play differently, and to make things much bigger than I do, and yeah, so we're also going to have some kind of supplementary goals in mind to, just supplement the big idea, because the big idea is just really kind of broad. But let me list those goals now. And one of them is going to be having all the research in the game done. Period. Like every single level. And I know a lot of people might do this anyway, but I actually usually don't. So this is going to be one of our goals for kind of, completion or whatever, is every single research done, every level of robot follower count, every level of everything. Rocket defense, everything. So all of it done. The next one, which is kind of a more maybe ridiculous sounding one, but I think it's kind of needed for this, is there cannot be any resource patches left on the revealed map. Period. No coal, no stone, no iron, no nothing. We have to use all of it. All the things. So what I mean by revealed map is, obviously we're going to put a radar down at some point in the near future, and that's what I'm going to use as my revealed map area. Everything the radar reveals, like once it's done revealing because it has its range, everything within that range has to be gone, except trees. Although once I get robots, that might be possible too. But all the resource patches in the entire revealed map have to be gone. We have to use all of them. And kind of with that is, I haven't decided on an amount yet, and this is kind of where I'd like your input, is kind of the simple one is to have X amount of stuff either in storage or where is some wood? Sorry. In storage or being produced. So I'm thinking like X amount of Obviously, the obvious ones like iron and copper plate in storage, and I'm really not sure on an amount, so I'd really like your input on this, your feedback. Let me know what you think would be a fun or a good number, um, a good goal to hit. And also, one that I'd like to have you suggest that I have not come up with a number for yet is to reach a certain point of production at some point in the game. It does not need to be consistent because that's just really hard to do because stuff gets backed up and it's just hard to make it consistent. But at some point in the game, to hit a certain amount of production per minute of certain resources. And I'd really like to hear from you guys what you think would be fun for that. And, if I don't hear back, I'll just come up with something myself by the next episode. But I really would like to hear from you guys for that. And that's actually not the resource I want that on. It's a little hard to do this beginning part and talk at the same time. But, yeah, so that's kind of what this series is about. I'm really excited about it because, like I said, I've never really played like this, and I know quite a few people mentioned in the comments and stuff that, what am I doing? No, they didn't mention that, but they mentioned that they'd really like to see a series like this where that's intentional building, like that, building on a massive scale, using up as much resources as possible. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. And let me mention, you may notice there are some purple patches of resources and some green ones. I actually have the uranium power mod enabled. It looked really interesting, and I played around with it a little bit. I thought it would be a good addition to this, just for another power source, and it can generate quite a bit. So we'll be playing around with that. I also have the resource monitor mod because I think that'll be pretty interesting and helpful, kind of a good gauge for us. And if I can get them to work, I will also use the fat controller mod and the auto train rail layer mod. I couldn't, for some reason, I've tried multiple times, I have not been able to get them to work. It either gives me an error while the game's loading, or in the game it'll give me an error and crash the game. I'm not sure if maybe they're not updated yet or something, but if I can get those worked out, I'll do that. So it's been a really long time since I've done a Factorio series single player. I did the Hydra Dilemma thing, and I'm doing the one with Alex from FCOD Gaming. We're doing that multiplayer one, but I haven't done a single player one in a while. And I think it will be really quite fun. I'm pretty excited. So, try to get stuff set up here, try to get to power. And like I said, I really plan to do this stuff off screen, but I didn't have time. I'm really sorry about that, but hopefully it's not too boring since I'm also talking over it. But that's kind of the premise, and even if we don't get to power in this episode, which we might not, let me see here. So we need some copper, and for boilers we need some of that. Even if we don't, I will get to that point off screen before next episode, and then go ahead and get that all set up and ready. But yeah, so let's just continue here. Copper, sure, I could use some of that. I meant to mine stone, but okie dokie. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of it. Like I said, I recorded a lot, so my mind's on some other things, but let's make one of these guys, and We don't really need much of it smelted at this point, so I'm just going to do that and put it into a box, which we can have plenty of because I spent forever mining or cutting down trees. And while I wait for that, take a look at the map. You have a nice body of water here, some little ones here, which is a little bit unfortunate. They'll kind of get in the way, but yeah, I don't know. I tried out quite a few different maps. I respawn maps probably 20 times or so trying to find a good one, and then I found candidates, and then I narrowed it down to this one simply because of the resources and the layout, and there were actually biters nearby, as you can see. For some reason, some of the maps, like even though I used the same settings for everything, for all of the maps, for some reason some of the maps had like no biters. Like I would walk around and they had like one teeny little base within like a huge area, and it's like, well, that's kind of boring. So I finally got this one, and we have a lot of oil, which is pretty good. And in terms of my settings for the map, to kind of tailor to this series, this type of series, what I'm going to be doing is what I set is normal size, normal richness, and low frequency for the resources to hopefully spread them out a little bit. I know I could use resource spawner overhaul, but I didn't feel like doing that. I didn't feel like messing with the settings and trying to get it right, so I think this will work. And then I also did large size for the biter bases and large or big richness, or high richness, sorry. And I think for this map, because I did change the biter settings between some of the maps, they're either normal for the frequency, or I made the frequency a little lower. Just because I thought it would be interesting to have big bases, but kind of spread out a little bit, kind of along with the resources. So yeah, let's figure out, where do we want our power? Because I don't want it in the way. Putting it here would be a pretty terrible idea, because I'm probably going to build out either this way or this way, since I will need a lot of room, since I'll be building huge. And by the way, the name for this series, I came up with the name. It's a little derpy, but it's all I could think of. Is Total Depletion, which kind of fits. You know, we're going to be depleting everything, using up all the resources, consuming all the things. And yeah, how about we could put power like right here-ish. I don't want to over my oil well, but that might be one of our best bets. So if I could see, our first oil well seems to be here. Is that room for 10 engines? Maybe, maybe not. It'll certainly be room for a 5x5. But we don't even need that many right now. Not even close, so. Got our offshore pump. I'll actually start closer in just to conserve our power lines. And why can't I place here? Game. Hey. Oh, okay. Duh. And how do I want to do this? Yeah, this will work. And 2 boilers. I think I will do a 5x5. If I do that, can they fit? I'm just testing. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do 5x5. For now, I'll just put them here. I'll load you up with some coal. Boom and boom. I think I'm going to end this episode here in just a minute. But yeah, while I finish this, I'll explain where I got the idea. It's really strange, okay? So, but I thought it would be really interesting. What do I want to mine first? Probably iron. is I was doing something, I don't remember, something idle. And of course my mind was wandering, because that's just kind of what it does. And I was kind of thinking, for any of you who have seen the movie Independence Day, it was made in, I think, like 1998, I want to say, with Will Smith. For some reason, I was thinking about that. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I was thinking about that movie, and it occurred to me, I was thinking about how, the aliens from it, like, came to Earth and wanted to, like, invade it and stuff, and when they did, like, research, or they hypothesized or whatever, they were like, well, these aliens just consume all the resources on each planet and then desert it once all the resources are depleted and move on to the next and just keep doing it on and on and on and build these massive ships and stuff. And for some reason, my mind was like, maybe I will think about Factorio now. And then I was like, wait, that would be kind of a cool idea for a Factorio series. To have a goal to deplete everything possible and as quickly as possible, and to just build on these massive scales. Because you don't see that a ton, not in Let's Plays at least. Um, uh, so yeah, Zisto kind of does it in his. Why am I putting that in a box? But yeah, I just think, I don't know. So that's how I came up with the idea. I don't know if you guys will like it. I'll like it. I know I will, because it sounds really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But I think I'm going to call this episode quits here, and we did actually get to power. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. But yeah, I want to hear from you in the comments or the forum posts or whatever. Feedback on the two things, for a number amount for like copper or iron plates to have in storage, and any other ideas for stuff to have in storage, like a goal, a set amount point, and same with a set goal to hit at some point in the game for production, like X amount of stuff being produced per minute. I'd like to hear your feedback on all of that, or any other ideas you have to add to the series. Since we're just starting out, they can pretty easily be implemented. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and all that to keep up to date on my videos. And I really look forward to seeing you next time. I can't wait to continue this series. And yeah, and I finally created a Twitter account. I figured I'd break down and do it. And there's going to be a link in the description in this video and all videos forward I publish. So if you want to follow me on that too, that'd be great. I'll update it every time I release a video, and do updates on game stuff, not necessarily related to YouTube, and even life stuff and things. So yeah, if you want to follow me there too, that'd be great. And yeah, so I hope to see you guys next time, and we will continue where we left off. Take care.